They don't roar like lions. They don't strike like snakes. But when they move, the ground shakes. Their horns are nature's weapons. Their eyes burn with raw defiance. And in the wild, even the fiercest predators think twice before crossing their path. These are not just buffalo. They are armored titans of the grasslands. Survivors of drought, war, and tooth. Beasts powerful enough to crush crocodiles, and fearless enough to charge a lion. Today, we venture into the untamed corners of the world, from sun-scorched savannas to mist-covered swamps, to meet the 5 most massive, deadly, and awe-inspiring buffalo species on Earth. This is not just a wildlife countdown. This is a story of strength, fury, and the primal heartbeat of the wilderness. Welcome to the top 5 wild buffaloes that even kings of the jungle fear. 1. African Cape Buffalo, the Black Death. It does not growl like a lion. It does not stalk like a leopard. It does not need to. The African Cape Buffalo is fear itself, carved in flesh and horn. In the golden grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa, a dark shape moves through the haze, broad, heavy, and utterly unshaken by the presence of predators. This is the Cape Buffalo, nearly a ton of bone, muscle, and sheer willpower. Its horns, thick as tree branches, curve inward to form a brutal helmet of destruction. To many, it looks like a grazing herbivore. To those who've met it, it is a loaded gun with hooves. Wounded buffalo have been known to double back on hunters, ambushing them from behind with chilling calculation. Entire prides of lions hesitate before challenging a full-grown bull. And if they do, they often regret it. Countless videos show the unthinkable: a buffalo goring a lion into the air, trampling it beneath a fury of hooves, and walking away as though nothing happened. When one buffalo is attacked, the others don't flee, they return, with vengeance in their blood. Nicknamed Black Death for good reason, this animal is responsible for more hunter fatalities in Africa than any other creature. Even elephants give it a wide berth. Because while others posture and threaten, the buffalo simply acts. With speed. With power. Without hesitation. It does not kill for glory. It does not need applause. It defends its kind with unwavering brutality. And in the wilds of Africa, that kind of silence speaks volumes. 2. Wild water buffalo, the last colossus of the jungle. In the forgotten wetlands of Asia, something ancient still walks, not with stealth, but with thunder. The wild water buffalo does not hide. It does not run. It simply endures. Weighing over 1,200 kilograms, this is the largest wild bovine on Earth. Towering and untamed, it is the ancestor of the domesticated water buffalo, but far more primal, and infinitely more dangerous. Its horns sweep wide like blackened scimitars, each one capable of slicing through flesh, wood, even steel with enough momentum. When it charges, trees break. When it bellows, jungles fall silent. Found deep in India's Kaziranga swamps, the grasslands of Nepal, and remnants of Southeast Asia, the wild water buffalo is a creature of myth in a modern world. It wallows in mud not out of laziness, but strategy, cooling its vast body, coating its skin against parasites, preparing itself for the long days ahead. And when the tiger comes, yes, even the Bengal tiger, it must be very sure. Because one wrong move, and this colossus will gore with such ferocity, even kings of the jungle don't walk away. But perhaps what makes the wild water buffalo so haunting isn't its size, or its power. It's its solitude. Driven to the edge of extinction by habitat loss, interbreeding, and relentless hunting, only a few hundred remain in the wild. Their eyes carry the weight of eras, of empires that rose and fell, of rivers that changed course, of battles never recorded. Each one is a living relic. A breathing memory of untamed Asia. When it locks eyes with you, it does not see a threat. It sees a trespasser. And in that moment, the silence is heavier than its horns. Because this giant has survived millennia and it will not fall quietly. 3. Forest buffalo, red fury in the shadows. The jungle is not silent. It breathes. It whispers. It bleeds. And when it bleeds, it's often because of the forest buffalo, a creature small in size, but colossal in wrath. This is the phantom of the rainforest, a compact, rust-colored force of nature weighing up to 300 kilograms. Compared to its colossal cousin, the Cape buffalo, it may seem insignificant. But in the tangled underbrush of Central Africa, the forest buffalo is nothing short of dominant. Its smaller size is an advantage here. It slips through dense vegetation like a shadow. And when it decides to strike, you'll never see it coming. Researchers tread carefully in regions like the Congo Basin, where visibility drops to mere meters and trails vanish beneath vines. Here, the forest buffalo watches in silence, blending into the leaves and mist. It doesn't give warning. It doesn't stomp or snort. Then suddenly, a blur of hooves, a flash of horns, and the air fills with the thunder of a beast in full rage. Many who've encountered this creature describe a terror unlike anything else. Tourists have been gored while hiking, rangers forced to climb trees, and even armed poachers sent fleeing. The forest buffalo does not bluff. It does not run. It finishes what it starts. Its reddish coat gleams with moisture, almost glowing against the green. Its horns curve outward like sharpened tools, designed not for defense, but execution. And when it's protecting a calf, it becomes something else entirely, a storm of instinct and brutality that few predators dare challenge. Even leopards think twice before stalking the young of this fiery tank. It's not just strength that makes this animal dangerous, it's its unpredictability. Its home terrain gives it the advantage. Its silence gives it power. And its eyes give nothing away. So if you ever find yourself lost in an African jungle, remember this: it's not the roar that should frighten you. It's the sudden rush, the sound of branches cracking, the ground trembling, and a shadow exploding from the dark. That's the forest buffalo. And it doesn't miss twice. 4. Tamaraw, the rebel of the mountains. On the island of Mindoro, where clouds cling to the peaks and the jungle grows like a fortress, lives a creature both mourned and feared. It is not large. It is not loud. But it is fierce. It is defiant. It is Tamaraw. With a stocky frame barely reaching the height of a man's chest, and a body weight of just 300 kilograms, the Tamaraw doesn't seem like a threat. But in the rugged highlands of the Philippines, size means nothing, survival does. And the Tamaraw has survived. Barely. Hunted for centuries, forced into higher and higher ground by farmers, settlers, and industry, this buffalo has become something else entirely, a lone fighter. No longer moving in herds like its ancestors, the Tamaraw lives alone. Solitary. Silent. Suspicious of everything. Its horns are thick and pointed, curving into deadly spikes that can pierce with shocking force. Its fur, coarse and dark, blends perfectly with the volcanic rock and shaded underbrush. Rangers attempting to track it often describe sudden bursts of violence, a shadow darting out from behind bamboo groves, a thundering charge down a ravine, and then, nothing but broken branches and bloodied earth. The Tamaraw doesn't wait for threats to come close. It attacks at the scent of danger. And when it charges, it does so with a kind of desperation, as if every step forward is one more strike against extinction. Because extinction is always near. There are fewer than 600 left. And each one is a storm in the shape of a beast. But it's not just power that defines the Tamaraw, it's its rage. The rage of a creature backed into the last corner of its world. The rage of a species watching the forest shrink with each sunrise. It's not just fighting for territory, it's fighting for history. Some say the Tamaraw is a symbol of the Filipino spirit, proud, unyielding, impossible to tame. And maybe they're right. Because when the last of its kind vanishes into the mist, it won't be with a whimper. It will be with a charge. A final stand. And the mountain will remember. 5. Anoa, the blade beneath the leaves. There are no warnings. No roars. No echoes of hoofbeats. Just a flicker between trees, a glint of horn in the green, and blood on the forest floor. This is Anoa. And it is not to be underestimated. At first glance, it seems harmless. Small. Quiet. Barely the size of a large dog. But deep within the ancient rainforests of Sulawesi, Indonesia, the Anoa is feared not for its size, but for what it becomes when cornered. This elusive dwarf buffalo weighs no more than 300 kilograms, but every gram is wired for speed, survival, and sheer aggression. Its horns are narrow and dagger-sharp, straight like javelins, built not to impress, but to puncture. Unlike other buffalo species, the Anoa doesn't charge in groups. It doesn't give second chances. When threatened, it strikes with terrifying speed and deadly precision, leaving its attackers stunned, bleeding, or dead. Hunters have learned to respect the silence of the Sulawesi jungle. Because when an Anoa feels threatened, it doesn't run, it launches. Stories tell of men knocked down in an instant, gored through the thigh, left crawling while the animal vanishes without a trace. Even veteran trackers, armed and experienced, have found themselves caught off guard by the fury hidden in this small frame. But the Anoa isn't just dangerous. It's dying. Habitat loss, poaching, and competition with livestock have driven it to the edge. Some estimates place its numbers below 5,000. And yet, even as it disappears, it refuses to go quietly. The Anoa still haunts the highlands, still leaves scars on those who get too close. It is not a victim. It is a survivor, proud, wild, and unbroken. In many ways, it is the forest itself made flesh, mysterious, beautiful, deadly when disrespected. And though it may one day vanish from the world, it will never vanish from legend. Because in Sulawesi, those who wander too deep into the green know one thing well. The smallest horns often cut the deepest. They vanish into the dust. Their hooves leave no promises, only echoes. In a world ruled by tooth and claw, they stand alone not as predators, but as unstoppable forces of nature. From the African savanna to the hidden jungles of Asia, these beasts have earned their place in legend not with stealth, but with sheer, unshakable presence. They are warriors, guardians, survivors. And though they do not speak, their silence tells a story older than fire, a story of instinct, of defiance, of life that refuses to bow. So the next time you hear the distant rumble of hooves in the wild, know this. It may not be a stampede. It may just be a warning that one of nature's most formidable giants still walks free. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of raw wilderness. Until next time, stay wild.